Welcome back, everybody. We are still here with Jerome on this Floral Friday, and he's going to show us how easy it is to add some floral fun in our life. So, before we go about creating a beautiful bouquet, first tell me about the flowers it is that you brought here today.
Oh, I just picked up some beautiful, colorful flowers because, you know, we need a little burst of spring. Get a jump start, right?
That's right.
So we have, obviously, sunflowers here in the front. We have different types of spray chrysanthemums. This here is actually in the dianthus family, which a dianthus is a carnation. But this isn't a carnation that most people realize. So this is actually, a lot of people refer to it as Sweet William. Sometimes people grow it in their garden in the summer.
Okay.
So, and they come in different colors as well.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then of course Asiatic lilies. Lilies are always a big hit. People love them. You know, the challenge with lilies sometimes is that they do get the pollen on the inside.
Right.
So it's important that you reach in there. I usually recommend wearing gloves or taking a Kleenex tissue and pulling those out. Wow. What that does is extends the life of the bloom, as well as keeps it from soiling any fabric like table linens or clothing or anything like that. So you want to be careful with that because it will stain.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, so we'll just take those out real quick and make that look a little bit better. Some people like the look of them on, but the reality is it does make the bloom last longer to take them off.
Well, as you are taking those out, I want to also reiterate, because you told me this in commercial break, that there's a difference between flower care and plant care. Can you talk to us about that really quick?
Well, two different families. I mean, you've got loose cut flowers, like we have here today that we're working with, which have grown on a plant and then been harvested. So that's what you have here is the beautiful flower blooms from the plants. But when we talk about plants in general household terms, people have green foliage plants around their home or blooming plants. That's a totally different thing. You need to know the plant care. And again, if you go to your professional retail florist, they're going to guide you on that. They're going to guide you on proper care and handling for not just cut flowers, but also your green foliage plants, which, you know, proven to help purify the air. So to have fresh plants in your home or in your office space, definitely a benefit.
All right. Well, with that being said, why don't you guide us here today on how to go about creating a bouquet or really any kind of unique floral design that we could even actually put in our studio?
So I wanted to do something simple, just like little bottles or jars that you might have around home. And it can be as simple as taking some of these, which is lily grass. We always give everything a fresh cut before we put it into our container because that just adds the ability for it to draw water up the stem, because once product is laying out or has been in a vase for a while, then you need to recondition the stem to be able to have the water be able to go up the stem.
Okay, and what are you using to cut it?
That's just my floral knife, so it's just a straight edge knife. Some people like to use shears. We like to use a knife to cut fresh product because shears you push down and it can crush the stem, and you don't want to crush the stem. You want to be able to just give it a nice, fresh, clean cut. And I can show you that actually. So on a stem like this, you just take your knife and pull it back, and it gives it a nice cut on an angle, which actually gives the flower that whole stem to draw water up, because these blooms will only stay as long as water's coming to them. So once this stem is not a fresh cut, then it starts to slow down the process of water. Okay. So the other thing is as you notice, I cut it on an angle. The reason for that is if you cut it flat, sometimes when you put it in a vase, it sits flat on the vase, and then it can't draw water. So if you cut it on an angle, it always has that ability to draw the fresh water that it really needs.
Okay, so, I hope you guys are taking notes at home, because I've been cutting my flowers in all wrong all of this time.
Well, we're here to fix it right now.
Exactly, we're cutting it on an angle too. Love that.
So as simple as this, a couple loose stems put into a container at your home can bring a little freshness and brightness to any area. So just a couple little flowers and stick them in. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be that simple. When you're buying fresh flowers at your retail florist, they'll usually give you a packet of flower food. It's important to work that in. The directions are on the package. if you run out of these or don't have them anymore, I know sometimes there's a lot of home remedies that are all over the social media and the internet, and quite frankly, as a professional, I steer you away from some of those, because the reality is that if you don't do it exactly the right ratio of that solution to water, it could be more harmful than good. So if you don't have the flower food from your professional florist, sometimes it's better to just use plain clear water. The important part is changing it regularly. So if you create a floral design or even these little bud vases and you have them on display, I would say at least every 2 days, every 3 for sure, clean it out, change the water, recut the stems, and put them back in.
You brought us the best, the brightest.
Look how pretty this comes together.
Right here on Studio 10.
A breath of spring, Rochelle.
Yes!
A breath of spring. Look at that.
Smell it. Oh my goodness, it's even better. Thank you so much, Jerome.
It's my pleasure. And everyone, please just take time to do that small gesture. Pick up a bouquet of flowers, either to gift someone or to possibly take home for yourself. Just enjoy flowers. They're a beautiful product, and they really can help change your demeanor.
Absolutely. They certainly have here today, so thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, Rochelle.